Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at our 20 video game remakes and remasters that we're excited to play in the foreseeable future. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. The Paper Mario series has seen a rather tumultuous lifespan. Things just haven't been the same since the Dolphin days. Looks like Nintendo is feeling the nostalgia a bit too, or they just know that this is an easy way to rake in some dough. Under this remake of The Thousand-Year Door, Paper Mario is finally going back to its more traditional RPG roots. No rings to shift around, no paint to tediously fill in, no stickers to spam, just good old-fashioned turn-based combat with timed inputs. And considering 2024 is the 20th anniversary of the game, Nintendo could not have chosen a better time to revisit and reintroduce one of the best GameCube games ever made. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door will open the book once again on May 23rd, 2024. System Shock. We are very well aware that System Shock did already get a remake last year, but it was only released on PC. The reason we're including the remake on this list is because it will be coming to consoles on May 21st, 2024. And this is a really big deal, honestly. Neither the first nor second System Shock were ever released on a console. Never. While just about any PC on the market can run those games just fine, some folks prefer to keep their gaming to consoles only. That said, there are plenty of people still out there who may not have a clue about what System Shock even is. Perhaps the remake coming to consoles will show the franchise has some future outside of the PC space? Only time will tell.
Not bad. I may have other work for you once this is over.
Luigis Mansion 2 HD.
Welcome to Evershade Valley, a place that's screaming and teeming with the supernatural.
With the 3DS market now being at the mercy of resellers thanks to the digital storefront being shut down, Nintendo has a good excuse to recycle some of their 3DS games for the Switch and whatever console they're planning to put out next. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is one of the first of these to be remastered under the new title, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Luigi, our faint of heart hero, was sent here to check it out. Time for some mansion mayhem.
Back in the day, Dark Moon was regarded by fans as an underwhelming sequel due to the game's restrictive nature. You just could not explore the game's many mansions on your own free will, and were instead constantly getting pulled out by EGAD for very specific portions. Whether this HD remaster intends to change that or not remains to be seen. Regardless, you can expect Luigi's Mansion 2 HD to drop on the Switch on June 27th, 2024.
Up to 4 players online can do some exercise across different multiplayer modes.
Monster Hunter Stories. Unlike Luigi's Mansion 2, Monster Hunter Stories did find a life outside of the 3DS. Unfortunately, that other life was on mobile devices, but that will soon no longer be the case. The original Monster Hunter Stories is getting remastered for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and PC, and it will be released on June 14th, 2024. PS4 owners will have more reason to rejoice on that day, as the sequel will be coming to the platform on that day as well.
Kana can guide you. Use the experience to learn what you're capable of, and what you must do as a rider.
That's right, Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin will no longer be tied to only the Switch and PC. So if you've missed out on these two on account of not owning a 3DS or a Switch, you'll have your chance very, very soon.
There is nothing to fear.
Clock Tower.
Clock Tower in particular is a game that I discovered when I was probably about 16, And it holds a really special place in my heart because at the time it was the scariest thing I had ever played.
Clock Tower has now become a relic of the 90s. While many of us were fawning over Resident Evil and Silent Hill in the mid to late 90s, Japan was enjoying a lesser-known horror title. Clock Tower was a remarkable gem in how its killer, Scissor Man, would stalk you around locations, much like Nemesis and Pyramid Head.
Fighting monsters and you're shooting them with guns, and that can still be scary, but Clock Tower is distinct in that you really don't have any of those tools.
Thanks to the efforts of WayForward Technologies and Limited Run Games, the 1995 original will be making an international release for the first time ever in 2024. You can expect a new animated intro to the game, enhanced audio and visuals, and added features like randomizers to give the game more replay value.
Being able to kind of oversee that and bring a new vision of this game to life, to be a part of it in any way at all, is just incredible.
Epic Mickey Rebrushed. One of many forgotten gems released for the Wii, Epic Mickey was a wonderfully crafted 3D platformer that painted Mickey in a different light, no pun intended. Before his fame, Mickey accidentally created a desolate world to be inhabited by forgotten cartoon characters. Decades later, he is mysteriously abducted and brought into the world to face the harm he's wrought. Epic Mickey was never released outside of the Wii, but this remake seeks to fix that. Purple Lamp, the wonderful studio behind SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake and the 2020 remake of Battle for Bikini Bottom, has been toiling away at this, bringing this obscure title forward with better frame rate, refined controls, and new combat mechanics. Epic Mickey Rebrushed is due for release sometime in 2024. Sonic X Shadow Generations. There are plenty of Sonic games that have been cast into the digital ether or left to the mercy of resellers. Though many fans have been begging for a Sonic Unleashed remaster or remake, Sega is giving us this remaster of Sonic Generations. The original game was developed in celebration of Sonic's 20th anniversary, offering up a massive platter of levels to play as both the modern and classic iterations of the Blue Blur. As one can quickly observe from the title alone, this remaster is adding another character to the mix, Shadow the Hedgehog, who's coming complete with his own campaign. Expect this game to drop sometime in the fall of 2024. Until Dawn.
The past is beyond our control. You have to accept this in order to move forward.
It was just a prank, man.
While Sony has made some questionable decisions as to which games are getting remade or remastered, there is a case to be made with Until Dawn. Not all of the character animation has aged particularly well, and the fixed camera angles can be cumbering to some. This remake is being developed by a brand new studio under Sony, Ballistic Moon, and the studio is developing the game on Unreal Engine 5.
There are a few things I need to make sure you understand.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
No, please!
Though we have not seen gameplay at the time of this video, one of the improvements Sony has revealed is that the game will be implementing a third-person camera instead of retaining the fixed cameras. Contextual animations and character animations in general will also see changes. We're sure other changes are abound, but we'll have to wait and see how this plays out when it arrives later in 2024.
Remember this as you play your game.
Shadows of the Damned, Hella Remastered.
Look what they did to me! A few little transgressions, and now I'm doomed to an eternity of heavy metal jokes and posing for pirate flags. It's only worse for mortals.
Then all the more reason to go.
Shadows of the Damned was one of several EA-published games to have sadly disappeared from digital storefronts. Admittedly, there are a few things in this game that have not aged well, primarily the controls. It took well over a decade to get it, but we are finally getting a remaster of this crazy-as-hell game. Grasshopper Manufacturer, the studio behind the original Shadows of the Damned, is working on the remaster, and they will be publishing it themselves.
Johnson, what the hell is that thing?
Holy cow! I don't believe it! Willie! That's One-Eyed William!
From what we've seen so far, the controls have been refined and the frame rate is now a buttery smooth 60 frames per second. Shadows of the Damned Hella Remastered will drop on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Nintendo Switch, and Windows PC sometime in 2024. And it won't be the only Grasshopper Manufacturer game out this year.
That was Sweether when she picked out that lingerie.
You? In a Chictoria's secret?
Lollipop Chainsaw Repop.
Seriously? Dude. The hell?
The original Lollipop Chainsaw released 1 year after Shadows of the Damned, both games making a name for Grasshopper Manufacture. But rather than give players a talking gun from hell, GM put players in the shoes of a chainsaw-wielding cheerleader named Juliet Starling as she puts a stop to a zombie alien invasion. Yes, it is as insane as it sounds.
Fuck off! Get away!
Originally, the game was going to get a remake under the Repop name, however, fans were greatly concerned over changes being made to Juliet's appearance and the game's writing. In response to this, GM announced that they were switching over to simply remastering the game so that the original can be preserved on modern hardware. But at the time of this video, nothing has been shown. Here's hoping the game meets its 2024 window.
I love you too, baby!
The Gex Remasters. In July 2023, Limited Run Games announced that they were working on remasters of 3 very peculiar IPs: Clock Tower, which we covered earlier, Tomba, and the Gex Trilogy. Honestly, it's confusing as to why Gex, of all characters, is getting a remastered trilogy.
You laughing at me? So you think I'm funny? I entertain you?
Yes, we know that everyone loves their memes, and the games weren't awful by any stretch of the imagination. Still, there is reason to remain skeptical as to why this is happening. No matter how you feel, Gex will be making his return at some point. Limited Run hasn't said much since the announcement, but we'd anticipate the trilogy launching sometime in 2024.
The world needs your help. Alfred, I can't hear you. The signal seems to be breaking up. Gex, I'll call you later. Bye. As I was saying, extra, my love.
Silent Hill 2 Remake. We aren't quite sure why Konami and Sony have been so tight-lipped on Silent Hill 2's release date. With developer Bloober Team now shifting to other projects, it's safe to assume the title is ready to come out of the oven for better or worse. Plus, the game has already been rated by South Korea's ratings board, which indicates ratings from PEGI and ESRB are not far behind. One Mexican retailer claimed the game is dropping on May 30th, but neither Sony nor Konami would drop a game so soon. Just for reference, we wrote and recorded this video in April, a month before the release date, so yeah, that ain't happening. Hopefully we will get some news in June, considering that's when all the big gaming announcements happen, though our money for Silent Hill 2's release date is on August or September, just before Halloween. As to whether it looks promising, we're just gonna leave that up to you.
Mary?
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Much like Silent Hill 2, fans have become skeptical over the Snake Eater remake. Once again, Konami has been keeping its cards close, and what little has been shown of the game hasn't seemed to have impressed folks. However, David Hayter, the voice of Snake, has come out to say that he's played the game, even going so far as to call it, quote, spectacular, end quote. Judge the early footage as you will, no release date or window has been given, but just to give Silent Hill some space to potentially thrive on the market, if it has a chance of doing so, we're guessing MGS Delta will make its way to platforms sometime in 2025. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time Remake.
Prince! The dagger! It can turn back time!
Speaking of coy publishers and remakes, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time was supposed to get a remake ages ago. Really, this game was supposed to release on January 21st, 2021. Then it was delayed to March 18th, 2021. Then it was indefinitely delayed, and then customers were refunded. So where the hell is this thing?
The sands will consume everything.
Come with me then. But I warn you, I move pretty fast.
Well, folks weren't too pleased with the visuals, and in April 2024, Outlet Insider Gaming revealed that the game went through a complete restart under a whole different studio under Ubisoft's wing. And unfortunately, the game is still not close to being done. Expect a 2025 release date? We're feeling this may come at least in 2026, if not later.
I brought this on us.
You are brave and good.
Sam & Max: The Devil's Playhouse Remastered.
You know, Sam, Skunk Ape may be a tool, but he brings a refreshingly childlike glee to his work.
While we're on the subject of remasters with no word outside of "it's coming," the third Sam & Max game, developed by Telltale Games, is getting remastered by Skunk Ape Games. For those unaware, Skunk Ape Games is a studio formed by former Telltale Games staff, and in 2020, they managed to acquire the rights to the Sam & Max games.
This story is different. In this story, you are in control.
Since then, the studio has already released remasters for Sam & Max Save the World and Beyond Space and Time in 2020 and 2021. However, there has been no word on The Devil's Playhouse since the remaster was announced. Maybe we'll see it in 2024? Hopefully?
Hooray! It's the Freelance Police!
Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Dragon Quest fans have plenty to look forward to between Dragon Quest XII and this remake of one of the older Dragon Quest games. Unfortunately, recent events have raised some questions. As many of us already know, Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and longtime character designer for the Dragon Quest games, passed away on March 1st, 2024. And so, we have to wonder how much of his work was done before his passing. How close was he and his team to being finished? Is it finished already? Does this change the rest of the development process for this remake? Only time will tell, but it's perhaps best to let the team take the time they need before resuming the project if possible. Godspeed, guys. Don't rush it. The Max Payne remakes. Max Payne has been dormant for a number of years, ever since Remedy Entertainment got absorbed into its own world of weird horrors in Alan Wake and Control. In addition to Control 2, Remedy is working on remakes of the first two Max Payne games. Neither have been brought forward to modern platforms, but their original Xbox versions are backwards compatible on Xbox Series XS. And what of Max Payne 3? Why isn't that getting a remake? Well, we would argue that game still holds up, even through XS back compat. One miracle at a time for now, folks.
The Things That I Want by Max Payne. The smoke, a whiskey, for the sun to shine.
The Witcher Remake.
Ha! It worked! Not bad. Take a rest. What do you think, Geralt? Is he ready for the path?
CD Projekt has a handful of projects going on right now. One of them is Cyberpunk 2, of course. Another has to be a brand new Witcher game. But of them all, we're more interested in the remake of the first Witcher game. This is a game from way back in 2007, and technology has vastly improved since then.
You might happen on the bandits' trail there. And you, Triss?
I'll try to use my influence to find the bandits. If I learn anything,
I'll contact Geralt.
So with all the new lessons in game design, CD Projekt has the chance to properly reintroduce Geralt and friends in a new light with new mechanics and controls. Besides, the first Witcher was never released outside of PC and Mac, so console players are in for a brand new experience.
A happy ending, though I would have preferred it explained how to cure lycanthropy.
That I don't know.
Thanks anyway.
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm here.
Man, this project has been through the ringer. The KOTOR remake was announced way back in 2021 and was financially backed by Sony at one point. Problem is that the project was not shaping up to everyone's standards, and so in 2022, a couple of key directors were fired, Sony backed out of the project, and even delisted the trailer from their social media accounts, and development shifted from Aspyr to Saber Interactive. Probably a good call there after what happened with Battlefront Classic Collection, but that's besides the point. For a time, the long silence indicated the project may have been in trouble, but in April 2024, Saber Interactive broke the silence by saying the project is, quote, alive and well, end quote. Who knows when we're seeing this, though. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3.
Just look at it all. It's so green.
With Final Fantasy VII Rebirth blowing our expectations out of the water in ways we could have never imagined, one question now remains. When do we get that finale? Considering how much was packed into Rebirth, it's almost surprising how Square Enix managed to get it out less than 4 years after Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Damn, that is quite the weapon you got there, mister. Seen plenty of action by the look of it.
Honestly, with that quick turnaround while managing to put out Crisis Core and Final Fantasy XVI, Square Enix seems to have a game plan, and it seems to be going smoothly. Our best guess is that the finale to Final Fantasy VII will come before we even get a glimpse of the next generation of consoles. Maybe 2027? Maybe?
Oh. I'd almost forgotten what it was like to be young and in love.
But which video game remake or remaster are you looking forward to the most? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to MojoPlays for more great videos every day.
What are you doing?
The million-dollar question I didn't have the answer to.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, there's more where that came from.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night.